Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's up? Oh man, it is Friday night, no doubt, and we are cranking in this little studio here. Let me tell you. So I told the ladies to hang tight. I had to go away for a minute. I made my cup. It is it's cranking on some mojo. I'm sharing that with you right now. And tonight I've got two special guests with me, Miss Tina Danley and her friend Miss Terry Hartke. She is a registered nurse. I was just introduced to her tonight. I don't know very much about her, but however, Tina trusts her. I'm gonna say I gotta trust her too. So she comes with a long history. She's got 40 years of medical advice, intuitiveness. Her skill level is beyond mine. So again, everything you hear here about this product, all I can tell you legally is do not take it as medical advice. Anything that you hear or say or do, please consult your medical physician, doctor, practitioner, the quack, the guru you pay money to go see to feed you big pharma stuff, right, to kill you. Look, share this podcast. Don't go anywhere, Brainiac. Hang tight. Let's have some fun. Starting right now.
We're living in a world of smoke and mirrors, lost inside the twisted game. But deep within we feel the shivers of a truth they cannot tame. Neon lights and coded lies try to keep us hypnotized, but the field begins to tear, and we're breaking out of their snare. Reality is spinning, the truth is descending. We're tearing through the great disguise, seeing past the grand delusion, breaking free from all their lies. Welcome to the matrix of minds. We see through the shadows, leave the lies behind, breaking the fabric of reality's hold. We're the matrix minds, brave and bold. In the digital storm we stand tall, unveiling secrets they can't hide. The power crumbles, we watch it fall as we tear through their divide. Electric whispers in the night try to keep us from the light, but our spirits won't be chained through the chaos we've reclaimed. Reality is spinning, the truth is descending. We're tearing through the skies, seeing past the grand delusion, breaking free from all their lies. Welcome to the matrix of minds. We see through the shadows, leave the lies behind, breaking the fabric of reality's hold. We're the matrix minds, brave and bold.
Mr. Mike Pyle, hello. Tammy Bottom, Mr. James Brown, it's an Angel, a Black Ducky, Kristen Hardy. I would say Tina Danley, but she's on the straight. Yeah, man. That's some fun.
In the matrix, we'll seize the day. Reality is spinning, the truth is descending. We're tearing through the great disguise, seeing past the grand delusion, breaking free from all their lies. Welcome to the matrix of minds. We see through the shadows, leave the lies behind, breaking the fabric of reality's hold.
Yes, we're going like you're on, right?
Brave and bold.
Just telling you.
Welcome to the matrix of minds. Together we rise, we're the ones who'll find. In this digital realm, we're taking a stand. We're the matrix minds, hand in hand.
Ba 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 boom. What's up, Rainsters? Look at her. She's in the chat. She's below me. Woo! I told you. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun tonight. Mm-hmm. Above and beyond all things, that's what this broadcast is about. It's just fun. Have fun. Inform one another. Be together. Share with one another. So those of you that don't and have never seen Tina Danley, Tina's right below me. And then her good friend, Miss Terry, is right below her. Welcome to the platform, Terry. Good to have you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How long have you guys known one another? Or when did you guys come into one another's lives?
We actually really met about 8 months ago, the end of January. Yeah. We've known who each other is, but we actually met in person about 8 months ago.
Gotcha.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
We were both at the Vegas convention a couple years ago. I mean, I saw you there.
Yeah.
But it's like when you got thousands of people, you can't visit with everybody, and it's just so hectic. You just, it's hard to get with everybody that you want to meet. But yeah, I'm so glad that we connected, Terry and I.
Awesome.
For sure. It was meant to be. So good.
I'm trying to move screens here. That's what I'm trying to do. It's not really working very well. There we go. All right. Yeah, as you guys are talking, I'm moving screens around because I got it out of whack. Trying to build a screen for like more than just me, or more than me and Ava. It's just, you know, she don't really take. She didn't even take up a screen. She just her voice just. But now we got everybody up. Now, look at this, gorgeous. I've never built a screen like this. I'm proud of myself.
It's amazing. It's wonderful.
We're here. We're primarily here. I was talking to you. Everybody wonder where. Well, here's the thing. Let me share this. Let me turn this music down out of my ear. Everybody up in this chat, as well as I'd say globally, I could not tell you how many messages were in my inbox, asking me. They're like, literally, where the hell were you at on Wednesday night, Matt? Well, I do gotta say that I lies cannot tell a lie. Do you guys see this little stuff right here? I'm holding my hand. You see that? This is a bottle that Tina sent me to try. And the name of this bottle is Relax. Okay? You guys already know that I can't find my CBD. I brought it here. I think it might have rolled off into the floor. Okay. Somewhere. I think it did. Anyway, nevertheless, my bottle right here. Soothe. You guys know about the CBD that she sent me, right? She's like, you just got to try this. I think she got tired of hearing me talk about my back. And then one day, right? Is this right? And then one day you're like, I'm going to send you something. Shut up. Don't say anything. I'm sending you something. Just try it. I'm like, I knew already. She's part of Tranont. She is an associate with Tranont. She's been an associate for a while now. And I'm like, shit, she's just going to suck me into this program, and it's whatever. All right, Tina. You remember that? I'm serious. I was like very hesitant.
Yes.
I was, right?
So I have been with Tranont since 9/11 of 20, and it was 21, I think. 21 or 22 when I finally talked Matt into jumping in here and, you know, experiencing the products and everything. And he, like, you guys have seen his commercial that he's had on for the CBD. For what? It's been
a minute.
Over a year that we've been running that. And Kylie couldn't be on here with us tonight, but yeah, him talking about his back pain and everything from driving a truck for so many years and stuff. It's like, okay, the CBD has got to help him. And so I sent him some Mojo, and it's like, yeah, human rocket fuel. That and the rest is history, right, Matt?
Yeah, it's this stuff right here. I've got to send a couple packets of this, the Mojo. I've got to send a couple packets of this out to some people, but nevertheless, yeah. Here's the way this worked. Okay, Melissa can verify this. A couple people in the broadcast can also verify. I have driven truck for 30 years. Okay, and it is really, really bad on a back. With that being said, I used to drive off the road, which makes it even worse. I used to drive a dump truck, and driving off road up and down the air in the seat, whatever, it's hell on your lower lumbar. Okay, so to get up to go to work, I'd be at work 5:45 in the morning. I'd be in bed. My alarm clock would go off about 4:15. I would roll out of bed. I exclusively bought a hot tub 10 years ago. This was 10 years ago. And nevertheless, I have to jump in the hot tub for every bit of 25 minutes to a half an hour. Okay? Go ahead and get out of bed. Get out of there. Get dressed. Shoot to work. Suffer through work. Okay? I mean, I'm popping ibuprofen and Advil all day. Okay? So nevertheless, when I even told her, I've told Tina, I have already tried a numerous amount of CBD. I have tried a handful, and none of it worked. That's why whenever she says, like, she's like, please just let me send it to you. Shut up. I'm sending it to you. And that's literally the way it happened. Just shut up. I'm sending it to you. So she sent it to me. I got through a half, mind you, I got through a half a bottle of this stuff, and I'm like, it's not working. She's like, keep taking it. It's not in your system yet. Just keep taking it. Because again, remember, okay, every now and then us drivers aren't allowed to smoke. Okay, Mike Pyle would love it. Socrates would love us to be able to smoke, but we're not allowed to smoke. That would help with pain. That would help with all kinds of things. Road rage, that would help with that. But nevertheless, what happened is after I got through the first bottle, I started to here's the thing. I started to not really get in the hot tub. Okay, I pretty much stayed out of the hot tub. I was able to sleep until 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and then wake up, get ready, take my drops, and go. I would take my bottle. I would take my little bottle with me. And at lunch, I would take another 3, not 2. I would take 3 because of my level of intensity, my pain level. I would take 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 at night, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. Okay, I would go through that stuff, but the thing was, I was trying to get it into my system. That's what Tina told me. Get it after, honest to God, after that first bottle, 1 bottle, and almost a quarter of the next one, my pain level went from about an 8 to about a 4 and a 5. Now, right now, I'm at about a 3. Right now. Okay? And I'm telling you, I am one of them drivers that, I don't know if Mike suffers from this or anybody else, but I don't know. The RN, Miss Terry, you're with me to explain to me and everybody else how it does what it does. Because I suffered from my arm. My arm would go numb. I literally, rolling over in bed, I would literally have to move my arm because of sciatica. Okay? So my lower lumbar was hit. So explain to me how it did what it did and done, because I wherever and however you guys want to talk about, primarily right now, I would love to talk about this glorious little CBD, because that is the most amazing thing that I personally, these guys know, Terry, I will not push anything on this broadcast that I won't try and didn't try myself. Okay, it is absolutely safe. I mean, I have taken everybody over here in this chat, they know I drink beer. They know this. It will not get you high. I have taken a complete dropper full of this shit, and I've right in front of Tina, I have put it in my mouth and have swallowed it with a chug of beer. It will not get you high. But how does it do, Miss Terry? How does it do what it does? Please.
Oh, I'm happy to explain. This is one of my favorite things of all times. So people totally understand that, first of all, you started with our product Soothe, which is a whole flower hemp fluid. And we also now have a more recent, another process, but I'm going to talk about the whole flower one first. Yeah, that Tina's holding up there. So we have our new micellized hemp fluid as well. So talking about the first one, though, the one you started with there that you're talking about is a whole flower hemp fluid in a patented process that we go in and we hit the plant. And the easiest way to think about it is think about squeezing orange juice, if you will, like a cold press or a cold press. But it's a little more complicated than that, but that's the easiest way to talk about it. So we hit the flower only, not the stalks, not the leaves. We go to that flower, we hit everything one time. There's no chemicals, there's no heat, there's none of that. So we're not destroying what we're hitting on the plant. Hitting it one time, coming out with everything in that flower intact, bound together the way that it's in that flower. And that's huge because so many CBD products out there, if you look at them, they are actually isolates and put back together to be called full spectrum. Ours actually comes out of the plant with all the cannabinoids, and there's over 120 of them, all the terpenes and the flavonoids. Terpenes are the same things as like what you think of with your essential oils. That's your terpenes in a plant. And so we're coming out with all, if you want to think of it that way, all the essential oils of that plant, all the cannabinoids, all the flavonoids. So when it's working like it's supposed to bound together, you only need a very small amount of it. So really you only need 2 drops to start with ours. 2 drops and not 2-dropperfuls. And you don't even have to hold it under your tongue. As soon as it hits the oral mucosa, your tongue, your inside of your mouth, it's going to absorb right in. And the big difference then is because we came out of that plant, we're in a water-soluble fluid. We didn't have to be isolated and put back together in an oil, which is like Humpty Dumpty, never quite is the same as the way it was taken out and taken apart. But because we don't put it back in an oil like that, it doesn't have to go through what we call first pass metabolism of the liver, which there's studies that show those oils really only deliver about 6 to 15% of the CBD because of all of that first pass metabolism and everything that's involved. Where ours, you're getting up to 500% more of the CBD. And why does it work? So that's kind of what it is. But how it works and why it works so well too is we all have CBD1 and CBD2 receptors throughout our body. Primarily on our neurosystem and on our immune system is the largest amount of receptors that are found. But we even have it on our skin. So when you get this CBD that is connected to our receptors, our CBD1 and CBD2 receptors in our body, then you can start having these responses that you're going to see these benefits of reduced pain, relaxation, reduction in seizures. We've seen that in children especially. Also sleep, relaxation. So there's just so many things. It's kind of like, it's not a snake oil. There's a real factor to it. And how I like to describe it, my favorite way to say it is, think of the maestro of the symphony. You have all your instruments everywhere, but who's the conductor? Who's the one who brings all the music together to make it work right? And that's like CBD is to our body. It's helping all our different systems. So our cardiovascular system, our neuro system, our immune system, all the systems in our body. It's the CBD, it's the endocannabinoid system. We actually have a system called endocannabinoid system. We make our own endocannabinoids. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But so this external cannabinoid fits in perfectly into our endocannabinoid system and helps it create homeostasis or be the conductor of a perfect symphony. So that's how I like to share it with people. We do make our own endocannabinoids. In fact, this is one of my very favorite stories to share with people. We always look at babies who just drank a bunch of breast milk and we say, oh, they're milk drunk. Well, they've just gotten a big download of endocannabinoid. It's found really high in mother's milk.
Okay.
And so they're not high, they're just relaxed.
Right.
They're just happy. So that's just one example of how endocannabinoids work in our body.
I have a question about, again, everybody was wondering where the hell I was at on Wednesday. Well, they already knew I worked on my car. My life has been a complete shambles for the past week and a half. So I work. Here's the way I work on the broadcast. On Sunday night, I prepare for it on Monday. On Sunday night, I prepare for Monday. And on Tuesday, I prepare for Wednesday. But the thing is I had so much going on in my life. I was working on the car, working with my neighbor Jeff, working with his sister, and all so much going on. I was exhausted, okay, come Tuesday. And come Wednesday, Tina had already, I had already had this stuff. What was it, Tina? I think I took this, took this like
I think you had like 3 doses of it or so.
Well, no, I had only taken the Relax once.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So
you'd only taken it once?
Yeah, no, I had only taken it once. Now, here's the thing, though, Miss Terry. I got a question because I from time to time, I smoke an indica, okay? And I call it in the couch or in the couch because whenever my body hits that, whenever the THC cannabinoids hit my system, I'm done. Okay, and indica is a downer or a relaxing agent. Therefore, whereas sativa is a body buzz, mind body is. Therefore, you also got what's called a hybrid plant. Okay, it's where they crossbreed synthetic salvian / with the indica plant or with the indica. So you got two strains mixed together, hybrid. Okay, sativa, hybrid, indica. Nevertheless, I'm wanting to know because whenever I took this on Wednesday at 9 o'clock, I was already exhausted. Now I told Melissa, I said I'm going to take this to try to relax. It says relax. I'm going to take it to relax. 9:15, I was gone. I fell asleep in the man cave in the recliner. So I want to know. I'm talking, dude. I didn't even wait. I did not even wake up until 2 o'clock in the morning, and then went to bed. But nevertheless, I want to ask you: does this have the indica, or is this from cold press, the indica or an indica strain? Because it can't be.
I'll be real honest. I don't know what the strain is. I know it's a hemp. It's a high quality hemp. And in the process with our new CBD, our Relax, we've used a myceliation process. And the reason for that, my understanding to the best I know, and this is all kind of new to me as well in this new one, is that it's a process where we still take all the components from hemp. I don't know what strain, but I know on our Soothe, we grow two specific strains. I don't know the name of them, but I know they're high quality. They test them beforehand to make sure we're less than 0.3% THC. They test it after. We have third-party testing on all of ours. So third-party testing. So this one was developed so that we can go into other countries where there cannot be any THC. So the process of this is basically they took everything. They have everything out together like I talked about before. They were able to go in with another process to take the THC out. Now, is there a trace? Maybe very small. But there isn't even, it has to be down to where they can send this to any country that won't take THC. That's the reason we came up with the new CBD. But what I will tell you is that myceliation process that they do use, I know makes it very bioavailable. I don't understand it all. I'll be right up front and say that.
Right.
But I, like you, Matt, when I choose to take this, I'm like sound asleep in 15, 20 minutes. And when I wake up, it's like once you've had surgery, that kind of wake up, like out of anesthesia, where you're going, whoa, I just slept really deep. I'm not even sure what day it is, right? It's that kind of sleep. It's that sound, but you're not drugged. You're not high. There's nothing else added. There is a little bit of stevia and monk fruit in this, and natural flavoring. You can get it in cool mint or cinnamon. But there isn't anything else like any other kind of added plant-based anything that's going to do anything else to you besides it being from hemp. But yeah, that's a good question. I need to dig into that as far as the strain.
Well, I would love to know. Okay, because again, I know, and I'm not even a pothead, but I do know that throughout the years I've learned that what does and what does not benefit me. Right, so it relaxes you, and it's a sleep aid. It's not made to put your ass out just to sleep. Like, okay, it is a sleep aid. It's like, you know what I'm saying. So, nevertheless, it's got to be from that. It's got to be from the derivative of an indica plant. It would have to be. And shout out to Mr. Andy Cassidy. He's like you're weak. Well, that's the thing. I don't smoke. I mean, I'm not a daily baker like half of these guys up in this chat. But nevertheless, I do want to say real quick to any of the drivers listening. Like Miss Terry said, it is below the threshold of 0.03% of what we are allowed. So that is that's why I even told Tina, I was like, I can't take this and drive. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And she's absolutely right. Yes, you can. So, again.
I'd like to add something to that too, Matt. it's so important to know, this is really important for that, is people can literally go out and grab other CBD that can say that it's less below the threshold. But if it's been isolated, again, if they've gone in and hit the different components and pulled out the different components and then put it back together, it's not bound together the same as it was in the plant.
Right.
And therefore, it's not going to get used in the body the same way. And there is the rare outside chance that somebody could have some of the THC build up. If it's by itself and it's going to the fat and building up, it could build up. And that's why sometimes, plus two things. Sometimes we'll hear from people who say, well, I tried a CBD. It was supposed to be less than 0.3% THC, and I still tested positive. Well, two things. Maybe it was pulled apart and the THC isn't working with the rest of the cannabinoids and it got stored, or the THC was actually higher and you just don't know it because they don't know exactly maybe how much they put back in. So
Right.
you just have to be careful with isolates. You really do. When the body is receiving CBD that's been kept all together, bound the way it's supposed to be, it's going to utilize it. And then we have enzymes in our body. If there's anything that isn't being used, it is going to be taken through and out all together. So it isn't being left behind to store. So I think that's really important to know why it's so important not to use an isolate. It really is. There's a lot of good reasons not to use an isolate, but that's another one of them.
Okay. The other stuff that we've got, or that you guys have got, that you are so rave about, I haven't really had the opportunity. I know there's some other things that Tina has shared with me, and she's like, "You've got to try this. You've got to try this. You've got to try this." And I told her even tonight I'm only going to share what I know. I'm not and she knows that. The things that she does, though, you as well, Miss Terry. What I can rave about, literally, I call the way I do Mojo. I don't suggest it because I will be literally up all night long now. I take a half a packet of my stuff here, which now it's in the white, right? So it's in that little sleeve. I take what Matthew does is a half a packet, okay, half a pack of this. I told you, in my coffee. And right now, my coffee is black. Normally, I'll put some hazelnut creamer in it, and it's like a warm cappuccino, or it's a warm one of them Starbucks cappuccinos thing. It tastes really good. However, if you like bitter stuff, don't even have the hazelnut, straight black, half cup of it, and you are zing. They know. Everybody knows. I mean, it's crazy. What all do you guys, Miss Terry? What sucked you into Tranont? Because I can tell you right now, what got me is that number one is the CBD. That is it.
Okay, so I was watching a friend. I've known her for about 16 years, and she started talking about this CBD, and I had severe knee pain, right knee joint pain. Literally to the point, I mean, I'd had an arthroscopy, I had blown out my knee, had what's called a bucket tear, medial and lateral meniscus tears, and a microfracture. I'd done it well. And at the time, I was working as a post-op nurse in a surgery center that was orthopedics. And so anyway, I was in a lot of pain, going to work, working on concrete floors, coming home crying because it was just like so bad. Having injections in my knee and my foot because then my foot started hurting because I was walking wrong. When I saw this and heard about this CBD, and I literally, the person who was talking about it was kind of one of the last people I thought would be talking about CBD. So it really caught my attention because it was just coming out. This was the end of 2018, beginning of 2019 when the Farm Bill passed. And so I was like, wait, what? Huh? Now you have to understand, I come from the Pacific Northwest, but for the last 12 and a half years, I've lived in Texas. I'm in Central Texas now. So, I mean, I knew about CBD. I knew about what they have because we go back up to Washington, Oregon, see family all the time. I knew about all the stores, all the stuff. And I'd actually had a little bit of an experience of a rub that had been put on my knee during this time, and it made me so I could sleep that night, one of the first times in months. So anyway, when I see this friend talk about this CBD, I'd had that experience with another rub, and I said, tell me more. And that's what brought me in. It was literally our CBD. And then I combined that with our collagen and with our natural anti-inflammatory. We call it Optimize. Y'all, my pain and discomfort in that knee is totally gone. Now, we don't treat, prevent, cure, like you said at the beginning, but the benefit of my body supporting and healing itself didn't happen overnight. Now, I started sleeping well overnight, but the pain literally took about 4 months to completely go away. Now, here I am 5 years later. I run up and down stairs. I have flexibility. I don't hurt. And they had told me that the next step I was going to have to do was go have a total knee. So here I am. Yeah, here I am. It's gotten better. I have more flexibility in it all the time, not worse. And at my age, and I don't mind saying my age, I don't hide it, I'm 66. And so at my age, that's like insanely good. I feel like I'm aging backwards, and who doesn't want that? So anyway, that's what got me in the door. And then as a nurse of now 41 years, I had to vet. I'm like you, Matt. I had to vet everything. I'm not going to put my name on something that I can't know I'm saying the right thing about.
Right.
And the more and more I dug in, the more I learned, the more excited I got about what I had my hands on. And it's only gotten better. And we'll talk about a few things that are brand new here in just a bit that have me over the moon excited, because it hits the buttons that I've been pushing for the last decade about metabolic health. We'll talk about that, but truly is my passion. And so anyway, that's what got me in the door.
Well, I can really tell you, I honestly, I am the push the envelope kind of guy. I always have been, and I did not need. Trying to get it into my. I hurt, dude. I hurt really bad. I'm like Mike Pyle up here. I drove. Mike Pyle in the chat is an OTR guy. Okay, so is Socrates. These are the guys that literally we move America. Okay, that is their job, is to move freight, and they do it well. Okay, I call them ground pounders, but the life sucks. It absolutely sucks, and what it does to your body is even more brutal. Okay, it plays hell on your psyche if you drive alone. It does, but nevertheless, it's hell on your body. So Mike here. He's worried about. I know he is. He said, "Come December, I'm going to try the CBD." I know why he says that. It's because he doesn't want to take the chance of the hydrocannabinoids being in his system in case he gets pulled for a random test. Right? I get it. I completely get it. However, my boss was one of my best friends, and I mean, the games we play in the trucking industry. Okay. If I got pulled for a random, just say it didn't happen. Whatever. Nevertheless, I didn't have to worry about it. These guys, however, other guys, they are going to be worried about that. And I completely get it. For real. Yeah. But you're right.
Now, I can say,
go ahead.
For me, so I actually, and that's true. It's like, make your own call on it. Mm-hmm. But I was on it for a couple of weeks, and I was doing the drops, the spray, which is going to be discontinued now. And we had the rub at the time. And one day I just loaded up with all of it. And I used to work in the oil and gas industry, and we used to have to send our guys to a lab in town to get tested and everything. So I took my own self there to test my own self. And I can say that mine came out negative on after I even loaded up. So
that's what I did.
I mean,
yeah, everybody has, because we never can say never, right? Because also we never know who's gonna maybe do something else and say they were doing that. So we have to be very careful with it. But I will say, my husband, twice, he was taking the Soothe drops twice a day. And twice he went through employment testing, and it was always negative, always negative. And one thing to tell everybody here, CBD does not absorb through the THC will not absorb through the skin into your bloodstream. So at least use the rub. You're not going to
Right.
get that into the bloodstream. It does
Right.
not go from the skin into the bloodstream. So you're totally safe there. At least use the rub, the muscle rub on your back. I have a gentleman. He's retired now. He lived here in Austin area. I live outside of Austin, and he and his wife have moved to Panama. She just ordered today again. She orders every couple months from, and they get their order because he got this muscle rub on his back, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I was in a car wreck, and it was like eons ago." He goes, "I can't sit in a chair. I can't ride in a car. I can't do things for very long. I have tried everything. I have tried narcotics, the da 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 da." And he goes, this has changed it for me. And so, yeah, that just saw that because they ordered again today. It was showed up in my report, and they're in Panama now. So I don't know if they order and they come back home every so often up here and get their stuff or what they do, but
Right.
they're still using it. They still make sure they get their hands on it.
It's I've
Works
my
out well.
my what you guys are talking about the CBD rub, right? That the liniment.
Yeah, the rub. The
Lim-
rub. It's not gonna. There's no way you'll test positive.
well,
It
here
doesn't. You can research it,
that's
but
it.
it will not cross through your skin. No THC will cross from your skin into your bloodstream, and it's not gonna. They could swab you. They could do a hair test. They could do whatever
Right.
they want to do. It's not. It's not going to be there. So anyway, so that's one way to utilize it. We have two new ones. I love it. Tina's holding up. You want me to talk a little bit about them?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So we're switching over to a new rub. It's going to be called, instead of Relieve, we're calling it Restore. It's utilizing the new form of CBD in it. And then and it works. Everybody who's using that says it works just every bit as good as the other. The other thing that she held up there, though, I've used now a few times, is called Repair. And it can be used for bug bites, sunburns, skin conditions. There's people who have said, I've read some testimonials where they're using it like on their psoriasis on their skin or different things like that, skin conditions. I got allergic reaction to some new eye makeup I had put on a while back, and I started literally just peeling around my eyes out here, and I used that. It was so gentle, it didn't burn, and it helped take away the redness and the peeling and the everything else, just like a sunburn. So it's wonderful stuff.
I had
Now,
a bug bite and I put the repair on it. And the first time I put it on there, it never itched or anything again. Just one time. It was pretty amazing
yeah,
for me.
it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Well, and one of the things I mentioned that I came into, I'm going to segue a little bit into our Optimize, because if people don't know about this, if they don't want to talk about CBD and using CBD, they ought to be thinking about Optimize. So Optimize is a what we call a high proteolytic enzyme blend. And if you think about Pac-Man out in your blood, this is basically how it works. You take it on an empty stomach, gets out into the bloodstream. It's going to eat up the rogue protein out in the bloodstream. Well, it's the rogue protein that causes inflammation and scarring, and it's the stuff that makes you have pain. And so when I started taking this with my knee, I also believe it's why I have more flexibility now over time, because it's been taking away that scar tissue and that inflammation that I had in my knee. So I love it. It has a high amount of turmeric and the curcumins. And for those who want to just hear a little nerdy nurse thing, when you take when you take the things like ibuprofen and Aleve, which are your NSAIDs, your non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, they chew up your gut. Number one, they're horrible for your gut. If you're on them long term, you'll probably end up with gut issues. So there's that, but they have something in them called COX-2 inhibitors, synthetically made COX-2 inhibitors. Well, this contains natural COX-2 inhibitors in it. So, yeah, this is an amazing formula. I tell everybody they should have it in their medicine cabinet and take this, go reach for this instead of the ibuprofen and the Aleve, and you'll be far, far better off. I've had people use it for everything from headaches to like the joint pain. And there's actually some really good stuff it does on the side as a side benefit. So I'm just going to go here for a second. But every one of your viruses, bacteria, and allergens that are all out there in the world that you get into your body, they all hide in a protein coating from your immune system. So all of us think back just a few years ago, what did we hear about? What was coated around that? We kept hearing about the spike protein. Well, they're all covered in protein, all the viruses, all the bacteria. So when you have something out in your bloodstream that is helping get rid of the rogue protein out in your bloodstream, then your immune system can go and attack better. And I was literally on allergy med. One of the lovely things about moving to Central Texas is if you haven't had allergies, you get them within a year or two of being here. That's everybody across the board. So anyway, grew up in the Willamette Valley of Oregon, did not have allergies, go figure, but came here and got them.
Can you guys see?
But after I was on this, and all of a sudden my knee wasn't hurting anymore, I also noticed I wasn't getting stuffy. And it was at that time of the year when I was supposed to double up on my allergy meds because of what was in the air. And suddenly I realized I wasn't even needing allergy meds. I have been off all allergy meds for the last 5 years because of this. And it's because it went in there and helped my immune system attack those allergens. And now it's like they don't even bother me. So I supported my body. I didn't cure myself. I supported my body in its own processes the way it's made to do so. So anyway.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing at Morgan. I think Morgan's just being a smart ass because she knows. She knows. She says, ladies, would you say that the product that Matthew took on Wednesday night helps with sleep? That right there is like a no-brainer.
Maybe.
Yes, yes, Morgan. It absolutely did. And it doesn't help. How does it work with you? I can definitely tell you how it worked with me. So, but again, that's like the CBD thing. It's going to help with certain people. Therefore, some other people, it may not help at all. And again, I guess that's just because of who we are as individuals, right? Us being like so unique. I'm not built the way you're built, Terry, or you're not built the way that Tina's built, right? I mean, right. Again, this is probably why I told Tina. I mean, I have tried everything. I literally had tried everything to help my back. And I'm like, I told her, did I not tell you, Tina? I said,
it's not working. We'll keep using it. One thing that you've got to do with this stuff is be consistent using it. And Terry will attest to that a little bit more here shortly, but it's like you can't expect to get a result from trying to help yourself with a natural product if you don't take it. You know, You got to take it consistently. And I mean, like Matt for the CBD. Okay, so he was saying that he was using 3 drops. Now, of this, you can do up to 3 drops 3 times a day, and it's fine. But if you go over that, you won't get high. You're just wasting it, though, because your body can't absorb any more than that. That is the maximum amount that you can take without wasting it. And, no, it's not cheap. So why waste it, know? But now that he's under control more, he could probably cut back to 2 drops.
I do.
And have the same result. You have? Okay.
I do. Yeah. The way I do this now, and this is still, again, it's funny that Miss Terry pointed out her knee. I was in a motorcycle accident. I used to race motocross. I was in a motorcycle accident back when I was like 17. I hyperextended my knee. I didn't break my knee. I hyperextended it. Okay,
Wow.
you as an RN will tell everybody. You may as well. It would have been better to break it and then let it. Okay, because when you hyperextend it, you rip everything out from it. Okay, so I can honestly tell you that you're pointing that out. It didn't even cross my mind until you just pointed that out. Truly, I had been in 17, and all my life that is my clutch leg. Okay, and it has ached and pain, and 2 drops. It's literally 2 drops in the morning, 2 drops at night, 2 drops in the morning, 2 drops at night. I don't even do the 2 drops in the afternoon now. I don't. But it took it. Number one, because again, I am hypercritical with. I'm not going to give these guys something and hurt them before I. In other words, I'm not going to hurt them, and if I'm going to hurt myself, I'll hurt myself before I ever hurt them. You see what I'm saying? So I definitely loaded up on it. And Tina's like, oh well, you're not getting benefit. Then keep sending me this shit. I'm either going to do or die. And it took me. I did it not. It took me a bottle to get it in my system to work. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Just like with any other supplement, it's like if you don't give it a chance to. I mean, you got to think about like, okay, you're in the cannabinoid system. Imagine it took so many years for it to get all messed up, and you can't just fix it, boom, overnight. And it takes something one time and expect it to work. You got to give it a second. You got to give it a chance to do its magic, so that it can correct. And then, like Matt, you've corrected whatever your pain thing was. You've corrected it a lot, but that's how you're able to now just maintain it after you. Sometimes we call it loading, right, Terry? If you load on something, you're like the Optimize. When I had cracked ribs, it was suggested for me to take the Optimize every 4 hours, even through the night, set my alarm, and you don't eat 2 hours before you take it. You don't eat 2 hours after you take it, and you take it right there in the middle on a basically empty stomach. Otherwise, the enzymes are working in your gut on your food instead of getting into your bloodstream. So when you're loading on something, you're taking a lot of it frequently, but you're going to have a faster result if you do that. I mean, you'll still have a result. It'll take longer, though, if you don't load. But depending on what the situation is, you might want to load. So, Matt, you loaded on the CBD. I loaded on the Optimize and the CBD whenever I cracked my ribs the first time. And then a lot of people on our bovine liquid collagen, if you load on this, then a lot of times, like joints, I mean, I was trying our new marine collagen, and I quit taking this just to see if it made a difference. Now, the marine collagen is supposed to be better for skin and stuff, but this bovine liquid collagen, my trigger finger even came back. And so I just started taking it again the other day. So it's like I didn't have that problem for a long time because I've been taking this religiously for a couple of years now. But my trigger finger came back when I quit taking it. It's even catching tonight.
Gotta have the trigger finger working, everybody. Got to have.
Yeah, look, see, it's stuck now.
Yeah,
right there, it's stuck.
She's got the real deal.
Right.
Now that's interesting because I took the marine collagen with me when I traveled, and I was gone for like 10 days. I wanted to give it the same kind of a trial, and my joints did fine. So, but your trigger finger must be more sensitive with whatever's going on there, for sure. But we're all different. Again, our biochemistry is all different, every one of us.
Right.
Well, I didn't take this for since they released this.
Yeah.
So it's been almost 2 months.
Yeah.
That I didn't take this.
Huh.
So
without it,
it got out of my system, and so now I just take both of them.
Yeah. But what you brought up there, Matt, is a good point too. Is our CBD, a lot of our products actually, same with our digestive enzymes, A lot of times after people have been on them for a while, you've supported your body in its healing processes, you actually end up not needing as much. And that's where you know it's working. When you get into a CBD product, and this happens a lot with the regular CBD oils, I've had people come to me who've had this experience and then get on ours. They were finding they were having to take more and more and more and more, and it was doing less and less and less. Ours goes the other direction. Ours, where you're taking it and it's helping you, you find pretty soon you're not needing as much of it. And so that's amazing. I love your story. I love that you're doing so well with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of my segue though into you take the Optimize, and the other thing I just want to throw out there is nitric oxide. You want to take a nitric oxide boost anytime you feel any kind of bug coming on. There's actually studies, you can Google them. If you Google there's a study that was done in 2004 and one in 2020 by Sweden. It was on the viruses that came out in 2002 and 2020.
Oh,
and
we know what that is.
Okay. I don't know how much you say on your show, but some people don't want to come right out and say it. But if it's okay to say it, I will. But we know what virus that was. And they did studies on it because it was just another version of the same virus. They're all the same C word virus. So they did studies, and what they found is in the presence of nitric oxide, increased nitric oxide in the body, those viruses couldn't replicate, or they were slowed way down, which is very, very important because viruses are non-living. They're not like a bacteria, so they replicate. That's what they do. And so by slowing that replication down or stopping it, they found that patients were doing quite well. Well, you can't just take nitric oxide. It would kill you unless you inhale it through a ventilator if you're on a ventilator. But one way you can increase your nitric oxide is through nitric oxide boost. And a lot of athletes out there are used to these. They're used to having their L-arginine powder in a big tub. They take a scoop. Well, we have a very measured dose in a high quality product that hits all the pathways. There's like 3 pathways to make nitric oxide in your body. This hits all the pathways. It's great for increasing oxygen to your muscles, helps with decreasing your blood pressure, helps to relax your cardiovascular system. All those vessels get more pliable. They're less sticky if they're more pliable. They work better. So there's all kinds of good benefits to nitric oxide boost. But that is just another benefit out there. And as a mobile IV therapy nurse during 21 and 22, these are the 2 products I took every day. And I saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patients. And I got the C word COVID. I got it once in August of 21 because I was with a bunch of people and I wasn't being protective about what I was taking. I wasn't taking my supplements. I was being stupid. I got it then, but I never got it in the next 2 years when I was around all those people. So I just have to put that plug in there. I'm not telling you won't get it, but I will tell you, and it's with any virus. It's with anything. When I start to feel a cold coming on, my first thing that I get when I get a cold is a scratchy throat. As soon as I start feeling that coming on, I start loading up on these, just like Tina said, and boom, the next morning I wake up and I'm fine. So it's amazing what your body will do when you get the right stuff in it.
Can I ask you something? Because Miss Lisa's pointing out something that I was going to interview a fella a while back. His name is Wim, W-I-M Hof, right? Wim Hof. And he's known as the Ice Man, okay? And Miss Lisa's pointing out something really interesting, and that is something that Wim Hof also delegates on it and pushes really, really hard. Let me make a screen to where you guys can see it. It's right here. So Miss Lisa points out, yeah, well, we can also accomplish the same thing by just breathing right for free. Okay, let me say something in conjunction to that, because I personally, you guys know that I meditate. I am a spiritual being. You guys realize that? You guys know this. I'm a very spiritual, very intuitive, very connected to my matrix here. Lisa, I got to point out to you, okay? I've done Wim's breathing techniques, okay? I'm just saying me. It did not work for me. Just breathing in that rhythmic pattern, okay, didn't exclusively for me. Didn't just work for me. I couldn't just like sit up in bed, meditate for an hour, and I guess pray, wish that my back pain would go away. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's like, you've heard the term shit in one hand and wish in the other, right? You've heard this term. You can crap in one hand and wish in the other. Well, that was me. I shit in one hand and prayed that what Tina gave me was going to work, because the breathing thing didn't work. So I just wanted to point that out. The breathing thing.
I'm a person who says you can't put things in a silo, because I've watched. I'm over 40 years of nursing. I've watched, and we've put things in a silo so much in Western medicine. And just to share with everybody, over the last 10 years, I've just become really passionate, especially about metabolic health. It is the core root of all chronic illness. It is. And so when you can get into being metabolically healthy, which literally means having the right energy function at the cellular level, each cell functioning the way it's supposed to, burning the energy the way it's supposed to, and we don't a lot of times, and I can go into that more. But we oftentimes try to silo things and say, well, if you just do this or if you just do that. I think it's great. I think breathing is an amazing thing. It does a lot for relaxation.
Sure.
It does a ton of stuff. But what we found is, and somebody I noticed mentioned beet juice. Beet juice is good, but sometimes there's better. And so there's this red spinach actually out of India that actually is one of the highest producing over just your straight L-arginine, straight beet juice, those kinds of things. Now, all of them are good. There's just different ones that are even better. So I'm all about find what works for you and add in different things, different modalities, and put it all together. Because if we try to always just do one thing and say this one thing's going to take care of everything, probably not for everybody. Maybe it does for a couple people, but probably not for everybody. So anyway,
again, I'm not dissing on her. You know what I'm saying? By no means. She's like add humming. I've done the oming. I've done the humming. I've done the rhythmic breathing, just like Wim. Okay, this man, like, he's an amazing guy, amazing fella. But I guess whenever you reach a point like Miss Terry, and I also seen where I think Morgan, was it Morgan that had a hyperextended? When you reach,
Morgan.
Whenever you reach a level with your body of being damaged, I literally did the cortisone injections in my knee. I did that. You know what I'm saying? In my shifting knee, my clutch knee, I did the cortisone shots in my knee, and I've been where you're at. I have been where you're at, and I am not gonna blow smoke in your all's butt. Y'all know this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not. Why do you think I'm not talking about the collagen? I've never used it. I mean, I have, but you know what I'm saying? It's not something that's working for me, Matthew. I have no idea whether the shit works or not. I know that the CBD absolutely works. I know you guys see me. I'm like flying out of my skin. Wide awake now, right? It's because of this.
Human jet fuel.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've made a little screen. Human jet fuel. I mean, is this shit legal? You know what I'm saying? The way I do things is extreme. Like I told you, I have literally taken a vial dropper full, and Tina's like, okay, because I you know what I'm saying? It's just again, I'm not gonna hurt anybody or lie to you about something that I don't do and tell you I do it. It's just that simple. What about your guys'?
I saw in here, Rose or Lisa was saying she's 52, pharmaceutical free. I am 56 and pharmaceutical free. And I mean, there is a time and a place where, yeah, like if I get some kind of an infection, I might need to get an antibiotic, to get that cleared up. But it's like overall, I've never been on any medications and stuff. And I watched my mother take pill after pill after pill after pill after pill after pill. So she would have this one pill, and then there'd be this side effect. So you would have another pill. Like I've heard, like cholesterol medication, for instance. Well, guess what? That causes depression. So okay, let's go get an antidepressant now. And then you got explosive diarrhea because you got that. So now you got to go get an anti-diarrheal. And it's just a long thing. I mean, I am all for if there is some kind of a natural remedy that, like they say, honey for coughing and, things of that nature. It's like, yeah, if that works for you, then by all means, definitely take it. And I am just I think that the only reason why these particular products work for me, because I tried so many companies and nothing worked for me. I mean, I am lactose intolerant since my son was 5. So that would be 31 years that I had been lactose intolerant, made myself that way. I'll explain another time. But nothing that I took ever helped me with that until Tranont's digestive enzymes called Enrich. These are the only things. It's a prebiotic, probiotic, digestive enzyme all in one. And these are the only thing that ever worked for me. And I truly believe that it's because they're whole food, whole plant, all natural products, and my body knows how to use it. So when you go and get your Metamucil, who knows how much crap is in there from that for bowel issues and, the prebiotics and probiotics. My mother would come home every week from the store with something different for me to try for that, because she lived with me at the time. And I don't know how much money she blew on stuff none of it worked ever. None of it ever worked. And immediately I had results from these. And it's like, gosh, I can go to Red Lobster and have shrimp linguine Alfredo and a salad with ranch dressing, and I have no ill effects. That is not something that a lactose intolerant person can do. So it's like, that's what sold me on it.
Are you ladies able to see these comments beside me?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. And I love that, Tina, but I am able to see those. But so for Michelle on the inflammation and the uric acid, I will tell you what Tina just talked about with our enriched enzyme blend. It's a pre and probiotic full spectrum enzyme blend. Breaks down all your protein, fats, carbohydrates, and everything. But for you, breaking down protein is so important, because protein causes that inflammation. Protein causes uric acid if it's not broken down right. So it could be, I would highly recommend giving the enriched enzymes a try. And you take anywhere from 1 to 4. I always start conservative. Use 1 before you eat, and you can take it right when you eat. In fact, I need to see if I have a pudding here. We could do a pudding demo real quick for everybody. Have you done one of those, Tina?
Not for this group, I have not. Yes. And I don't have a pudding here.
I do, but I'd have to get up and get it. So
that's okay. Anyway, we'll probably take a break here in a second. Won't we, Matt? Go to commercial for a minute and come back.
We are at the top of the hour. I am gonna go to our break, but please, real quick before we do, when we come back, I want to talk to you guys about exclusively the supplement. These are supplements. These are not a medication replacement. They're a supplement. Okay. If they help you get off of a medication, okay, that is between you and your doctor, which I've heard so many good stories about so many of these things. Okay. These products that the ladies are going to talk about. We'll talk about that. And the big one that everybody wants to, why these things are not FDA approved. It is a supplement. Okay. So again, what works for Miss Rose CC says, what works for the brain, anxiety, and stress?
That relax would be really, really good to take. the relax or
Or
the
the
snooze.
snooze.
But I would go with relax because we actually have clinical studies about how it decreases anxiety and stress and
Oh,
helps
nice.
sleep. Yeah, yeah. So
Awesome.
those were released when it was released, and that would be the one I would say. I know people who take that with anxiety and stress and don't fall asleep in the middle of the day. They take it and use it during the middle of the day for their anxiety and stress. I do know people who use it that way.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well,
All right, you ladies, you guys you go get your pudding. You go get your pudding. Right? You got it.
my
Right.
hubby just brought it to me, so I'm ready.
All right. We will be seriously. We will take about let's say about a 6 minute break. You guys go do what you got to do. I got some ladies some commercials here to or some of the advertisements to play, and we will be right back with. All right, no, you guys are right. All right, Miss Tina Danley, as well as Miss Terry Hartke. You guys don't go nowhere. Share this broadcast. Share this podcast. Again, let's have fun. Tonight is the night again for us all to explore, learn, and be with one another. We will be right back.
Welcome to Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where magic meets the mundane and the extraordinary becomes everyday. Are you ready to gift yourself with the whispers of ancient power stones? To the feel and hear the echoes of our ancient past? Dive into a world where each pendant tells a story, where rare stones hold secrets known only to the universe itself. At Crystal Cove, our collection isn't just jewelry. It's a gateway to a realm of mysticism and wonder. Let the shimmering opal guide you through twilight dreams, or embrace the fiery energy of the sun with our exquisite amber pendants. Each piece, handcrafted by the hands of a true mystic who understand the language of the earth and the fire of one's heart. At Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, we believe that every soul deserves to sparkle. Whether you seek solace in the calming embrace of amethyst or wish to dance with the vibrant hues of turquoise, our collection holds the key to unlocking your inner magic if you allow it to be so. Visit us today and discover the pendant that speaks to your soul. Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where the beauty of our amazing earthy realm meets the magic of the cosmos.
Hey everybody, Austin here with Colorado Custom Game Calls. Are you looking for a game call for your upcoming season? Are you looking for something unique? Are you looking for a gift for the hunter in your life? Well, look no further, we got you covered. At Colorado Custom Game Calls, you get to put your own twist on these calls. Whether it's waterfowl hunting, big game hunting, predator, or turkey, we got you covered. So be sure to hit us up on our Facebook and Instagram or on the web at coloradocustomgamecalls.com.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage. Every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. The CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again.
forgot the guts and glory until I saw the truth behind the veil of the stars and stripes. A dark side revealed, where pawns in their game, for power they'll never yield. Awake now, eyes open wide, no longer blinded by their lies. This land of the free, it's just a masquerade. It's just a masquerade for the powerful few. Our sacrifice is made. They paint us as heroes, but we're really their expendable tools, set to fight their battles in wars like ignorant fools. But I won't march to their beat, won't play their game. I stand for true justice now, and I'm no longer the same. Awake now, eyes open wide, no longer blinded by their lies. This land of the free, it's just a masquerade. It's just a masquerade for the powerful few. A sacrifice is made. They call it patriotism, but we're really the expendable tools, set to fight their battles and wars like ignorant fools. But I won't march to their beat, won't play their game. I stand for true justice now, and I'm no longer the same. Awake now, eyes open wide, no longer blinded by their lies. This land of the free, it's just a masquerade. It's just a masquerade for the powerful few. Our sacrifice is made. They call it patriotism, they call it the 4th of July, but it's a corporate charade. We're fighting for their profits, our ideals betray. I won't be silenced, no, I won't bow to their command. I fight for truth and freedom against their ironclad hand. Awake now, eyes open wide, no longer blinded by their lies. This land of the free, it's just a masquerade for the powerful few. Our sacrifice is made. So raise your voice now, please stand tall and strong, for the soldiers used for far too long. No more deception, no more lies. We reclaim our honor on the freedom skies.
Yeah, man. Are you guys having fun tonight? I hope you is, cause I is. All right, so we're going to get right here back with the ladies, and I think Miss Terry's they got like disconnected, so they're out of place. So I'll be moving names around, but nevertheless, here we go. There, we're back now. Now we've got Tina. That amazing.
I'll be Tina.
Look at this. Tina's now Terry, and Terry's Tina. Ain't that funny how that worked? That was the power of transform. I'm just kidding. No, I do. However, I've got Tina. No, yeah, Tina. Your lips are getting cut off by the bottom of the screen. There you are. There you are. All right. So again, I'm gonna move names. You guys talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm gonna move names. I'm gonna fix this.
So Matt, for this demonstration that Terry's gonna do, could you like put it on her so they can like see her?
Oh, you want it just her?
Like, can you? Yeah, full screen her so that you can see her pudding and everything while she talks.
I can do that.
This is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I can do that. Let me just go over to this screen right here. This one right here. And I'll put her up there in a big... Hang on one second. There we go. I'll get her up in here.
There you go.
There, look at that. Right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So hang on. I'm getting it. Miss Terry Hartke. There you go. All right. Wait a second. There we go. Wait. There we go. I'm almost ready. See, you guys didn't tell me about this making Terry. There. All right. Perfect. All right. We're ready now. Go. Do it. Do it up. Do whatever you got to do.
Okay. All right. So, Tina, do you want to talk a little bit about gut health as I just showed us? I mean, the fact that everybody really needs this, whether you know you have gut health issues or not. So,
right.
Do you want to go through talking about, where our hormones, our neurotransmitters, all the things that start from the gut? And I'll just show you guys. I'm starting with the pudding pack here. I got the lid on it, just so you know I didn't do anything to this during the break here. I'm going to take it off and try to not get this chocolate on my fingers. Let me see. Where's my camera? There's my camera.
This is interesting. This is really interesting.
This is going to be fun. So I will say this real quick, and then I'll let Tina talk while I stir this. But I'm using a pudding pack just as an example of processed foods. So all of us pretty much, unless you 100% all the time only eat raw food, which I know there are those who do, but I'm not one of those. I do eat cooked food. I try to stay away from processed food as much as I can. I do the outside, the perimeter of the store, I don't go down the center kind of thing. But I still cook my food. So even when you cook your food over 114 degrees, you kill the enzymes in it. For instance, that apple that sits on your counter and rots, it's decaying and eating itself with enzymes. You go and cook that apple in an apple pie, it might grow mold on the apple pie because of the sugar in the apple pie, but it's not going to eat itself up the same because the enzymes have been cooked out of it, have been killed. So anytime we cook our food or eat processed food, we're having to take enzymes from within ourselves to digest that food. And some of us are born deficient. Some of us become deficient with age, stress, illness. There's lots of different reasons. So like when Tina was talking about being lactose intolerant, it really is about not having enough lactase in your body to break down the lactose. This is full spectrum digestive enzyme, has lactase for lactose in it, has enzymes for gluten, fiber, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, which your carbohydrates are your starches and your sugars. So it's going to break everything down and help you. And so I'm going to take one of these out of here. It's just in a little vegetable capsule, nothing synthetic at all whole food, plant based. And I'm going to put it into this pudding. I'm going to try to do this so you can kind of see. So I'm going to bring this down. Again, where? If you can see it.
Yeah, it's not in the screen, Terry.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is. Okay, so there's the pudding. I'm going to open up this capsule and put it in there. So you can see I'm just taking it right out of the capsule. It always amazes me how much will come out of one of these things. And then I'm going to just stir this. And Tina, if you want to talk about some of the things with digestive health and what happens in our gut while I stir this, I'm going to stir this up here.
Okay.
Just mimicking.
So real quick to touch on what you were talking about, if we don't have it. So the reason how I made myself lactose intolerant is I was on a low fat diet. I only allowed myself 7 grams of fat a day. And that meant dairy was out. I mean, one bite of cheese has got 30 grams of fat in it, so it's like I had to cut that out. And so that's how I became lactose intolerant, because I cut dairy out of my diet. But anyway, these enriched enzymes help process the sugars, fats, carbs, and proteins that we consume, and which really does have a big impact on your gut. 76% of Americans have a gut health issue. And a lot of it, I believe, contributes to the way our foods are now, because everything is processed and we don't know how to digest all this processed food and all these quick, fast things that we eat nowadays. So I think that is a whole lot of what contributes to all the gut health issues that we have now. Because back in the day when I was growing up, I didn't hear of lactose intolerance or gluten intolerance or any of those, and IBS and colitis. And I mean, there's so many different gut issues. And I think that has evolved with us over time, just simply because of the food that we eat is a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And your gut is like your second brain. I mean, your gut can create depression. Your gut can create anxiety. Your gut can create, I mean, all kinds of issues. And you think that, and even your skin, you know, people who break out real bad, it could be because you got a gut issue and you need to have better digestion in order for that not to come out through your skin because you're not processing the nasties. Anyway, I think Terry's about, look at that, folks.
Yeah, it started out a solid pudding pack, and now I want to show you what it's doing now. And I'll hold it up here so you can see. This is what it does. Whoops. There we go. Literally, if you could clean out your gut instead of having the sludge in your gut from things that aren't digested right. So what that's going to do, it's not going to go the other end that way, is going to break your food down so you absorb your nutrition properly.
Show me that cup again.
What's that?
Show me that cup again.
Oh, sure. Here's the bowl. Here's the cup.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So typically the three things that will really cause us problems is either toxicity, imbalance, or deficiency. So when you have a deficiency in your enzymes, you allow imbalance and toxicity to happen because you're not breaking down your nutrition, your nutrients enough to absorb them correctly, and you're letting things that get out into the bloodstream that shouldn't, which is toxicity. And also, if you're not breaking things down, you can have, that's why you get all the sludge built up in your intestines and stuff too, because things are not passing through the way they should. So this will not come out the other end looking like that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you have a concern that you run to the bathroom too much already as it is, this is going to make you regular, so you go regular. If you don't go often enough, this is going to help you be more regular, and helps with all that bloating, gas, all the things. And Tina's so right. I mean, our neurotransmitters, 80% plus originate from the gut. Same with our hormones, same with our immune system, and it resides in our gut. So when we aren't taking care of our gut right, is it any wonder we've come to a place where we see so much mental health issues? Is it any wonder we come to a place where we see people who have so many autoimmune issues? Autoimmune was hardly a thing when I was a baby nurse. And I didn't pass thyroid medication to everybody and their brother like it was candy when I was first a nurse. I also didn't see the disease, the chronic illnesses that we see in younger and younger people all the time, unless they were really old and things were just broken down, like their liver wasn't working as well or whatever else it might have been. And we're seeing those disease processes younger and younger. And a big, big part of it is our processed food, which puts me right into metabolic health because it affects both the gut and it affects us at our cellular level for how we burn energy. And every label out there on every food, if you buy something that has a label on it, it tells you what's in it for ingredients, but it does not tell you how they process that food. They don't have to tell you that. And so our bodies, like Tina said, we're not equipped to break down those foods that have been processed so highly. So a big reason to stay away from processed foods. Now, there are some things we just don't avoid, right? We eat some things because we want to. So how much better to eat well? We're not telling you to not go out and eat well. But when you do eat, and when you are eating a cooked meal, take 1 to 2 of these enriched enzymes before you eat and find out how much better you feel. Find out how much better you do, how much better you respond. Yeah, everything we do see skin clear up. We see all kinds of things happen for people when they get their gut right. So did you want to say more about that, Tina?
Right there.
No, I mean, everything that you said is just perfect. Now, Rose is asking if it gives you diarrhea.
No.
No. Now, there are a few people that may have a little bit of an adjustment period because their body is so shocked to have some balance in their gut, and they may for just a very short spell, but it passes quickly. if that does happen. And I've only heard of it, like, I don't know, maybe a couple of times. And this has been over almost a 4-year period. So I'll just say that.
I do tell people the first time they take the enriched enzymes, do it when you're at home or you know you're going to be near a bathroom. Because without TMI, because I'm a nurse and I'll talk poop any day of the week, but without being TMI, it can go in and find something that may be in your system and help clean you out. I'm just going to put it that way. I know of some very specific examples of that. I won't go into that, but yes. But overall, once you get started on it, no, it's not going to give you diarrhea. It's going to help you go the other direction and be more regular if you have a tendency to have that already be a problem.
Yeah, Kristen said the waterfall of you turning solid into liquid. It made her wonder, and of course it made me. I'm like, even me, I'm going. And Tina showed me a little bit about this before. Even I'm going, oh my God.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who see that, but you got to remember, you have lots and lots and lots, and I'm not going to say the wrong number right now. It's not on the top of my head, but you have a lot of feet, a lot of yardage of intestines.
Right.
And so when you can have this going through and absorbing correctly and getting the nutrition correctly, it's not going to come out the other end as diarrhea. It doesn't do that. So
now I am going to say this real quick. When I very first started, the very first stuff that I got, I had Mojo and Enrich in there. And I can say that I think it was like by day 3 of taking the Enrich. Now, the Mojo is like a nootropic energy drink. There's appetite suppressant. It's you really don't feel hungry, or I never do whenever I take that. But the combination of those two things and that Enrich, I mean, I lost like 13 pounds in 2 weeks because that's how much gunk I had trapped in my intestines. So it's like it slowly like makes it go away, because I didn't change a single thing. I simply added that to what I did, and that's the only explanation for it, is I had to have had that much stuff stuck in my gut. And like by day 3, I went to go put my jeans on and I didn't have to suck in my gut. I had 0 bloating. What? And I didn't realize that I had bloating. Not really. I never really thought about it until I didn't have it. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like heavenly. So yeah, definitely it does make a difference with bloating and indigestion. People that, like my husband used to take, it starts with an O, we'll just say that, OM. And then he didn't need to take that anymore because he was taking these. Had no more issues with acid reflux and all that kind of stuff.
Can you guys talk real quick about Mr. Richard Wilbur here? It's not that he's got a question. However, if we could help him with this or talk about this for a second, he's like, I used to be heading to the restroom right after eating. Now I'm not. Again,
so I know Richard.
Okay.
I know Richard, and so Richard, tell me, are you talking about before, or is that now, or do you still take Enrich, or throw that in the chat for us?
Okay, he says after Enrich, that almost stopped.
There you go.
Okay, so see,
Perfect.
This is the thing that I know you like you say you love seafood and you love a specific thing from
Red Lobster.
That's it. And you
shrimp linguine Alfredo, baby.
And you couldn't eat it because of your problem.
Yeah. I would take an entire box of lactates with me to Red Lobster. I would sit there and I would pop them all out while I'm sitting there waiting for my salad to come. And I was still, even though I would take the entire box, it did me no good. I wouldn't have to run to the restroom right that very second, but I was so miserable that it's like, oh my God, I'm dying here. Because it would just immediately, my gut would start turning, and the pain, gas pains. And blowout's coming. That's what would end up happening. And it seriously was horrible. And it was like that for years and years. And it was like the happiest moment when I tried, and I didn't have to take a whole box. I just had to take, if I'm going to be super naughty, I'll take 3 of these. If I know I'm having something that's loaded with dairy and, ranch dressing and all the goodness. But normally now I only need to take 1 before I eat. And it's if I'm eating something processed. Otherwise, I don't really need to take it anymore, because unless I know I'm having dairy, because my gut's pretty fixed now. I think it's pretty balanced. And I mean, I did notice that I don't have like breakouts and stuff like I used to have. Yeah, that's a pretty amazing product right there.
So what don't we have?
Sure.
What don't we have a product for? Or I may say you guys. Because I can just pretty much say I'm a consumer. I'm as well as an overactive guinea pig. Again, anything you guys want to try out hey Matt, do you think that we should take 90 of these? I'm your dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like the relaxed stuff. There's only a certain amount that you're supposed to take. Okay, I know damn well I overdid it. However, I was
1 mil.
Right. I mean. It will definitely. Is there anything else you guys want to go over that you think we use?
Yeah, we want to talk about. Terry's going to explain real quick our new daily health system. It's like a metabolic health system. And I can say for myself, though, real quick, that these transform. This is our new sugar to fiber enzyme. And I don't know the science behind it, but all I know is that I started taking these and I started losing so many inches, I had to go buy new jeans. Seriously. And then I'll let Terry take, because I don't know why it worked. But I know I felt fuller faster. So I'm like a results person. I don't get into all the science and everything of it. If it works for me, great. If it doesn't, okay, I'll pass that one by. But Terry is the person that's like really in there into the science and why it works and how it works and everything else. But I can say that this transform was amazing for me. And I had to get my husband smaller jeans too.
Bill?
I love it.
Bill, really?
Bill.
No kidding.
I had to get Bill smaller jeans. He walked in the back door one day and he had something in his hands and he tried to do a new belt loop on his belt, but he made it too big so it wasn't holding right, and his pants just fell to his ankles when he walked in the back door one day. It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
It's like, okay, honey, it's time to go get some new jeans.
I'm trying to get something up here, so if you're wondering what's up with the screen, I'm going to go over here and let you guys go over this if you would like to. It's up to you.
Oh, that summer bundle?
No, I just
the summer bundle would be great. It's a part of the DHS.
I just took Terry out, but didn't mean to. All right, so
that's okay. I can talk. Can they hear me?
Take me out.
Yeah, we
take me out, Matt.
Take it out of studio mode. I'm gonna go over to this right here, which is a web share. There we go. All right, so you got right here. What was it? You want me to click the daily health system thing?
Daily health system. They're at the top in red. Yeah, that would be the best. And then we can come back to that summer zest bundle. But the daily health system right there.
All right, okay.
Perfect. Okay. So this one is the one that gets me the most excited. Like, I love all our products. I know how they work for people. I have stories after story. We could be here a long time talking about stories. I have a major story about a person with major celiacs, how our enrich enzymes work for her after nothing else over many, many years did. So, I mean, I have so many great stories. But our metabolic health system, I'm back to that same thing. It is metabolic dysfunction is at the core of chronic illness. Now, hear me, chronic illness. I'm not talking acute, but chronic illnesses. And so when the cells are not functioning right, our body doesn't function right overall. And when you get down to things like, oftentimes, you get down to things like blood pressure, weight loss, your triglycerides, your cholesterol, also things like just being able to measure the circumference around your waist. Men, if you're at 40 inches or more, and I'm not talking under the belt, I'm talking over the big part of the girth of the abdomen, Women, same thing. At the widest part of your abdomen, if you're at 34 inches or more, you probably have an indicator that your metabolic health is not good. Now, there's also what we call thin people who are sick with metabolic health too. So just because you're thin doesn't mean your metabolic health is necessarily good. So again, measuring your blood sugar, your fasting blood sugar, measuring your triglycerides and your cholesterol and everything. And so as we start to see, oh, and I need to make sure my battery thing is plugged in. It is not plugged in. Hey, hon.
Good.
My battery is not working. I'm wondering if it's not plugged in out there. Anyway, if I go away suddenly,
if Terry vanishes,
I thought I plugged in, but all of a sudden it came up I'm not, so I might just be gone. But anyway, all I want to say real quick is at the core of a lot of issues, even including weight loss, it's more about metabolic health. It is not calories in, calories out. Not every calorie is created equal. It doesn't burn the same at the cellular level. And so when we get metabolic health right, we start seeing weight loss correctly. We start seeing other things improve with blood pressure and other parts of our health. And so this transform that Tina brought up is a sugar to fiber enzyme. It's a novel enzyme that takes 50 to 90% of your glucose as you're eating, and it's getting broken down in the digestive system. It's taking the glucose molecule, chaining them together into a prebiotic soluble fiber, and taking it on through your body. You heard me right. It was after 10 years of high research being done that they discovered this at one of the universities here in the United States. It wasn't done for our company specifically, but our company got our hands on it, and we were able to come out with this. We also have what's called a thermogenic in it that helps burn fat and give you energy. So no wonder Tina was losing weight, because you have 50 to 90% of your glucose not going up in your bloodstream. You're also not getting those calories. You're also not having the insulin response that almost all of us walk around with insulin resistance because of years and years and years of our diets. It's not just an overnight thing that you can change. You can improve your insulin resistance by decreasing the amount of glucose out in the bloodstream, but it takes some time. But this is going to help with that, reducing down, so you're going to have more insulin sensitivity. But add to that, the second part of our system is called Activate. Activate is a drink. So the Transform is a capsule. You take this 30 minutes to an hour before you eat. And I say before you eat your primary 2 meals a day, especially. There's enough in here for 1 capsule twice a day for a month. So I intermittent fast. That's just how I eat. I don't eat breakfast. I've always intermittent fast. So I use this before my lunch and my dinner. But I tell people, use it before your 2 largest meals of the day, or 2 of your meals that are going to have the most potential for like carbohydrate, sugar in it. And then once a day, and you can take it more often, but 1 tub is worth 1 drink a day for 30 days. This is going to increase naturally your GLP-1 hormone and your AMPK enzyme. What are those? Well, we've been hearing all about GLP-1s. They're the same. That is what the synthetic shots are giving people synthetically. They're giving them a synthetic peptide chain. It's manufactured to stay in the body longer than your normal, regular peptide chain. That's, I think, is why we see a lot of the problems we're seeing with it. Plus, it's synthetic. And so naturally, you can boost your own GLP-1. It resides in your gut and in your brain. It tells you, it gives the signal to you that you're full and you're satiated, that you're satisfied. It helps cut down on the food noise so you don't have food cravings. There's actually research about GLP-1 on addictive behaviors, everything from shopping to drinking to drugs to every food consumption. So when you're taking this, you actually are having your brain help you with your behavior about what you choose to eat, how much you choose to eat. Naturally, you're not having to go on this restrictive diet, but it's helping you eat better and helping with the AMPK. That's the enzyme at the cellular level that helps the energy burn correctly in each cell. So back to that metabolic health I talked about. So when you can burn your energy correctly, helps with cleaning out the cells. So when you burn energy, think of if somebody were to burn coal, there's going to be waste, right? Well, same in your cells. When you burn energy, there's waste, but we don't always get rid of that waste, and then it piles up in our cells, and our cells don't function well. AMPK is going to help with that. It's called autophagy. So it's going to help with autophagy. It's going to help with fat burning. It also tells your body not to store fat around your liver, not to store fat in your visceral area in your abdomen, and to burn fat stores. So this is an amazing, amazing, I mean, I can't underline it enough, what this means to health across the world, but especially in the United States. So we're seeing some incredible, incredible results with this. The benefits for people is amazing. Everything from weight loss, but if you don't need to lose weight, that's fine. It's not going to make you lose weight, but if you need to, you will. It is also helping with inflammation in your body. It's also helping with energy and sleep. Oh, talk about good sleep. Talk about hormone balance and getting your cortisol balanced. I mean, this pair right here, this is phenomenal. I cannot say enough good about it. And it's called the Daily Health System. And we actually have a special right now where you get our nootropic drink Zest. That's the lemonade form of the rocket fuel, energy fuel that Matt drinks of the Mojo, which is a coffee drink. We have it in a lemonade. That is our Zest. So you get a free bag of that Zest, and you get a bag of the collagen we talked about earlier, the marine collagen. So as you are losing weight, it's going to help with that skin. It's going to help with your connective tissues. It's going to help with all the things with the collagen. So anyway, I love our products because I love what I see happening for people. And my thing is, if you want to live longer, why not live optimally? Don't buy into, oh, well, I'm at middle age. I have to have a bigger abdomen. I have to not have as much energy. I don't buy into that, y'all. I don't. And I am a very happy Nana at 66 with more energy now than I've had in a long, long time. And anyway, I just can't say enough good about our daily health system and what it means for health and in the long term. And I love that you have the 5 markers up there, Matt. The metabolic health is measured by.
Well, Miss Terry, I want to go over this because Miss Tina, no, not really very many people know about her. This is like crossing a HIPAA line, and I don't want to do that. But, however, I do want to stress for people that do have a diabetes issue. Okay, Tina's your
unhealthy blood sugar.
Your family member, right? Your family
unhealthy blood sugar. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Father-in-law.
Right. Okay. Right. So would well, I don't want to say something I'm not supposed to say, but however, I want you to at least say what it has done for both you as well as I don't have a blood sugar problem, but you. She does. Uh-oh.
I'm going to tell you something. You might not know it. You don't have to have a blood sugar problem and have the disease diagnosis to have a blood sugar problem. So, for instance,
okay,
Terry's A1Cs, Terry's fasting blood sugars, always in the optimal numbers, not even just in the normal numbers, which you don't want to just accept normal. You want to, there's more to that you want to have optimal levels on your labs.
Okay.
Always optimal. So I was like, yeah, I don't have a blood sugar issue. But I went ahead and I put a glucose monitor on my arm, the continuous ones that poke on your arm and stay there for 10 days. And I watched what I ate for a couple of days. And then I started taking Transform and Activate and watching what my graph did. I had it on my phone. It would graph my sugars. What I found out was in the middle of the night, about 1 or 2 in the morning, and I would go to bed around 10:30 usually, 1 or 2 in the morning, I would wake up. I always thought it was menopausal. I always blamed it on my hormones. I always blamed it on all the things, besides blood sugar. I didn't have a blood sugar issue. What I found was, as I wore that monitor, is my blood sugar was diving in the middle of the night down to 50. And so when it dove down to 50, my body went, whoa, release cortisol. You need cortisol. And the cortisol is going to help release your glycogen stores, so you have glucose back out in your bloodstream. Well, that's what woke me up. That was what was waking me up. So I got started on this. Y'all, my blood sugars at night, like this, 70 to 80, 70 to 80 all night long. So I tell people, you might have a blood sugar issue and not know it, mostly because of insulin resistance. And we've built up insulin resistance over the years because of our processed food and the hundreds of ways they can put sugar into things and you don't even know they did. It's not just high fructose corn syrup, that everybody's buzzword. Yeah, that's bad, but that's not the only way. I mean, even honey used too much is wrong. It has too much fructose in it to be used all the time. Agave, fructose primarily. And so you have to be careful about what you put in your body, right? So we developed these insulin resistance. And so then our body, when I was eating, what was happening is I was dumping a bunch of insulin out and it was causing my blood sugar to drop in the night. And I didn't even know that was what was causing me to wake up in the middle of the night. So
that actually happened to me too.
Yeah.
I got one of those Dexcom G7s, and I tell you what, half the night that alarm was going off, I would get clear down into the 30s.
Oh my God.
It's like, okay, that is like really low.
That's scary.
And I got down into the 30s a couple of times when I had that on. And I did like 4 of them, you know, but now what I do is like, I'll take one of these before I go to bed, and it pretty much keeps me maintained through the night. So I know that now, but I had no idea. My mother was horribly diabetic, and she's gone now, but she was bad diabetic. And she did a blood type diet of some sort, and she managed to lose a bunch of weight, and she got off of her insulin and all that kind of stuff. She was still on the metformin, the oral medication, but she wasn't on insulin anymore. And but I wished that we had this back then when she was alive, because it's like, oh my gosh, her quality of life could have been so much better. I mean, she had really bad neuropathy. They ended up amputating a toe, and you know, I mean, she was a medical nightmare is what she was.
So ladies, let me ask you. So someone, out of curiosity, because I don't know. I'm not the RN. You are. So if someone does have, I do, however, have what's called hypoglycemia. I need sugar. Okay, I need sugar. So, but anyways,
actually,
hang on.
You're probably releasing too much insulin. Is a big part of hypoglycemia.
I didn't need to know that. And what about those people that are insulin dependent, though? What can we say about? Is there not going to be a clash? Or what's going to happen?
Yeah, really important. And it's a good question. So number one, those who are insulin dependent and type 1 diabetic, that's a whole different beast. And they're going to continue to probably need to stay on their insulin. And again, we don't ever tell anybody, even if they're type 2 or anything else, to get off of their medications without going through their doctor. But what we are seeing with this is, because it is helping have healthy blood sugar management, is sometimes even those who are insulin dependent are finding they don't need as much insulin, and then those who are type 2, because type 2 is about the sugar levels in the body, not just the fact that their pancreas isn't making enough insulin. That's why they're so different from each other. So on the type 2, we are seeing everything from improvement enough with their doctor's help that they are either coming down and sometimes even coming off of medications. Now,
oh my God.
Not everybody.
Right.
But I literally right now have someone, and she was on here. She's probably dropped off, I think, by now, but she was on here earlier watching, who she was this close. She was right there, going from the yellow line to the red line, and on her A1Cs, where her doctor was going to start putting her on medication. And using this, and then also our Activate, drinking this, she went back in recently and redid her labs, and she's in the green. And he said, Don't need to put you on anything.
But was that a change of diet as well, or was that just?
Well, a big part of it, yeah, a big part of it though is you're taking less blood, allowing less glucose out into the bloodstream, and that's why it won't interfere with medicines. That was one thing I wanted to say. Medicines work inside the bloodstream, like your metformins and stuff, work inside the bloodstream.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't anything like a medicine. It is simply taking the glucose, chaining it together into a fiber, and taking it on through the gut. So it's as if you didn't eat all that sugar. And we get way more sugar in our diet, even when you eat well.
Sure.
If you eat, people will eat yogurt with fruit juice added in it, thinking that's healthy. It's really bad. Fruit juice, gram for gram, is worse than soda. So, I mean, you have to know what you're eating. And some of us like to eat things once in a while that maybe aren't as healthy. Maybe you like ice cream. Okay. So when you can have something though like this that helps take that glucose through so you're not having so much go into your bloodstream, and then this with the AMPK and the GLP-1, AMPK and GLP-1 also help with blood sugar management, and so helps the cells using up glucose and burning energy, all of that. So it's just supporting your body to do the processes it's meant to do the right way. And what we're seeing is just the benefit of that is outstanding. It's just, it gets me so excited. So anyway.
I also highlighted on let me go back to the screen. I highlighted for everybody the word, okay, the metabolic health is measured by, okay, the ones that kicked out to me was blood sugar and then blood pressure. So yep. What does this do? What does this, out of curiosity, what does this do? We know what it does to blood sugar, but what does it do to the blood pressure?
Sure, that's a good question. So when you have high levels of blood sugar floating in your bloodstream, it actually adds to uric acid production. Somebody else asked something about uric acid earlier tonight. Okay. It's not only because you're not breaking down proteins right that you'll get uric acid, which oftentimes we hear about gout mm-hmm. or arthritis, where it's going out into the joints and so forth, right. The uric acid. But high blood sugar levels also leads to higher uric acid levels, which elevates, it's a chemical reaction, elevates your blood pressure. So there's that. So if you get your blood sugar levels into a good managed, healthy level, that can help your blood pressure. Plus, in this drink, we also have L-arginine, and I talked about this earlier with nitric oxide production. L-arginine will help with your cardiovascular system, helping open up the vessels, making them more pliable, and oftentimes helping lower blood pressure. And now, if you run around like me, I tend to be on the low side naturally, but I'm a healthy low. I can be in the 90s over 60s. I don't get dizzy. I don't get lightheaded. I don't pass out. It's healthy. I'm not symptomatic. I'm asymptomatic. I can drink this just fine and it never bothers my blood pressure. If you're a symptomatic low blood pressure person, you would want to take this kind of carefully, like take half a scoop and see how you do. But the nice thing about plant-based meat supplements oftentimes is they're more of an adaptogen. They're going to look, it causes your body to do what it needs to do, but it's not like a medication you're taking that's causing you to go too low. So that's just one thing I do talk about with this. Only caution I ever have for people really is just be kind of careful if you have a tendency to be someone who gets dizzy and low blood pressure. Just watch how much of this you take. But
okay.
Otherwise, that's how it's working on the blood pressure. It's working to help make your cardiovascular system more efficient. So,
Tina, is there anything else you would like to add? We're almost we've covered an hour and 45 minutes. I told you 2 hours would go no time.
It goes fast, doesn't it? Well, I would like to comment real quick that I have not been able to keep up with this, and I have my other little phone down here, and I was trying to watch the comments, and I could not keep up with that and what we were doing. So I will, and Terry, if you wouldn't mind too, if we rewatch the show tomorrow and maybe answer some questions that we missed in the comments, then that would be lovely.
Tomorrow during the day, you bet. You bet.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
And I've been traveling and everything, so I am already 200 notifications behind on my stuff already as it is. I haven't been on it since the other day. I've missed it every day.
I've linked your ladies. You may hate me for this, but I've linked the both of your girls' profiles in the description of tonight's broadcast. I don't know. I don't know these things. Okay, I am the consumer guinea pig. Okay, I know they work. The ones that I take, I know work. The ones that you guys are talking about, I've got a couple things that you want to send me, Tina, or would have that I have not even really right. So and again, these things are speak for themselves. I know that you've got a group that you've been putting people into, Tina. Right?
Yes, we have a testimony group. It's called The Ripple Effect. If anybody would love to be in that, then just shoot me a message. Once we're Facebook friends, then I can invite you to that group. And you can search at the top of that group for, anxiety, for instance. And then testimonies will pop up and they'll talk about what anxiety problem they had, what they took for it, what the result was, and how they feel now. Same with you can put in back pain, you can put in IBS, you can put in tons of different things and just search in that group. There's like thousands of people in that group. Isn't there like 140,000 now?
Wow.
I think there's 140,000 members in there now. So there's a lot there, and I can, or Terry, either one of us can invite you to that group. And Matt could do it too if he had time to do it. But yeah. And then, Terry, like she said, she'll go through tomorrow because I am a results person. I'm not a like if you say, oh gee, my back hurts. Well, I would know what to recommend for that, but I couldn't tell you why or specifically what, like Terry can. So definitely, if you have questions about a specific thing, please do, maybe shoot her a message. And if you need an invite to the Ripple Effect or whatever, then you can shoot that to me, and we'll just kind of try to split it up and help everybody that has a question.
Awesome sauce. Anything, Ms. Terry, you would like to add at all?
No, I appreciate you having me on tonight. It's been a delight to sit and visit with y'all, and
you too.
Hopefully we helped answer some questions or gave some information that was helpful.
Awesome sauce. Again, I linked the ladies' profiles in their in the description of tonight's broadcast. Any questions, please hit them up. Don't I guess don't bombard them with it.
I did put Matt's link. I put Matt's link in the comments too earlier.
Okay.
Tranont.com/Matrix Minds. And if you would love to get something from him, I'll help you with it and everything, but we'll use his link. And yeah, that would be amazing. And it would help the show too.
Awesome. Ms. Tina, thank you. As well, Ms. Terry, thank you for your medical advice, your expertise. By the way, again, I don't like talking about things like this without having someone like yourself present. I'm serious. And so I thank you very much for being with us tonight and sharing your thoughts. Okay?
Thank you, Bo.
All right, hon. You guys take care.
Yes, Terry, thank you so very much.
Miss Tina, take care of yourself, my dear. I will catch you another way, another day, another way. You can be careful going home.
All righty.
All right. Good night, guys.
Yeah, I will. It'll be next week, but yeah, I'll go home eventually.
All right. Good night, ladies.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Okie dokie, ladies and gentlemen, guys and boys and girls. I hope you guys had fun tonight. I sure do. Like to try to have fun with the broadcast. Try to have fun, make things fun, have fun. So that was our interview, as well as I guess it was I don't know, an infomercial. One hell of a long infomercial. So if you guys again was wondering what the hell gives me the energy to that makes me zing, it would definitely be the mojo. And again, the back pain, my back pain, being a driver, went away with 1 bottle and a quarter bottles of this stuff right here that Tina sent me. It is called Soothe. It was definitely a game changer for me, okay? Especially for me being a driver. I didn't care whether I did or I did not pass a drug test at that point, because again, I was dragging myself out to the hot tub, trying just to try to move. Okay. On top of that, if you guys again have problems sleeping, the stuff that she sent me was called Relax, and indeed it did. It put me out. So if you wonder where this past week's broadcast went on a Wednesday, it went out the window with some Relax. With that being said, Brainiac, you guys take care of yourselves, take care of one another. On the way out of here, I'm gonna rock you guys out on the way out with a little bit of music here. I'll probably share with you one of my favorite tunes that I've created by the name of Lost and Found. You guys, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. I will catch you here on Monday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock West Coast time, as we venture into next week. I'm specifically calling this as like because everybody on the West Coast is like, oh, well, we've got contact in the desert, and we're going to go UFO hunting. We're going to call this, Searching for Stars with Dr. Stephen Greer, or some shit. You know what? The Matrix has got something too, okay? We got something too. We're going to call it Contact in August, okay? All week next week, we're going to be broadcasting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And it's going to be real people. Real people. I'm not talking like just, people that maybe, I don't know, paid money to be on their broadcast or shared their stories. I'm talking real people. Like the ones you see on the broadcast tonight. This lovely lady Terry, as well as Miss Tina Danley. Real people. These are real people. Okay? I didn't pay them to be here. I didn't pay them to share their story with you. So all of next week, we're going to have on real people telling real stories right here on your all's broadcast, your show. Okay? Again, the subscriptions help us to be here. Donations help us to be here. It's all about you. It is about your truth, your belief, your reality in my matrix. I'm glad you're part of my reality. I'm glad that I am part of yours. So with that being said, again, I appreciate you guys. I thank you from the utmost bottom of my heart for spending tonight with me, as well as Miss Tina and Terry. Gonna rock you guys out of here again. This is called Lost and Found, everybody. Just crank this shit up, Brainiac. With that being said, peace. I love you. Good night, everybody. Yeah, man. Album coming soon for release, no doubt. You guys have fun.
Lost in the dark night, can't see the way out. Pain and confusion, tears all around. Oh. Holding on tightly, searching for the dawn. Hope seems so distant, but I keep moving on.